Hello everyone. Um, Hopefully this is working. Um, Please let me know if you can hear and see me, um, and everything. Hopefully this time around it's gonna work. Um, I've restarted my computer and hopefully that's fine. And hopefully you guys have found the live stream. 123 is back. Hello, welcome back, 123. Hopefully, we haven't lost everyone in the technical difficulties, but well, at least 123 is here, so that's good. Maybe it'll be a private lesson. But yes, we'll give it a minute and see if anyone else will come back into the live stream. Maybe I will post quickly on the community page to let everyone know that we're back. See if that helps. Oh, see if we can get everyone back. Okay, Foodie Yeah says it's a little bit slow, but not too bad. Yes, I think the internet in my new apartment is not the best. And right now I'm streaming whilst my housemate, I think, is in a meeting or on a lecture, which obviously makes it quite tricky. So I'm going to need to figure out a way of fixing that for next week's live stream. So yeah, basically. But where were we? I think let's keep going and get started. Bagdalet is back. Welcome back, Bagdalet. Thank you for joining. But yes, I think let's begin. So for those students who will be joining today's lesson after the live is finished, because this obviously goes up as a video as well. So today there was a lot of technical difficulties in the live English class, so we are now starting again from the beginning. So I'm just going to quickly recap what we have done already in today's lesson and then pick back up from where we left off. So let's get started. So yes, back to the beginning as we were. So we are talking about the present perfect. Our trivia question for today's lesson, just a reminder, is who was the Prime Minister when the Brexit referendum was held? So I'll repeat that again. Who was the Prime Minister when the Brexit referendum was held? All right, so just before I think the internet cut off, we had mind mapped what we already knew about the present perfect, and we got lots of good suggestions from different viewers. So have plus past participle, talking about something that's happened recently, talking about our experiences, using the vocabulary since, never, and ever. And do we use it to talk about doing something for the first time with already and recently? Let's find out. So, as I was saying, you guys were totally correct with the form for the present perfect. So the way that we create present sentences in the present perfect is by using a subject, such as I, he, she, they, maybe a proper name, any of those, with have or has, depending on which subject you use. So if you are talking in the third person singular, she, he, it, we use has. So in the third person singular, she, he, it, we use has. And then lastly, we use a verb in the past participle. As I was saying before, I think this might be where I got cut off. The past participle is verb 3 on a verb table. For those of you that have studied English in a language academy or studied English in any formal way, you'll know that usually you are given a verb table, maybe in the back of a textbook or a workbook, and the first column will be the verb in present simple, also called the infinitive or base verb. So this is like the kind of like the original verb. For example, to call or to go. So it's the original verb in the present tense. In the second verb column, you have the past simple. So this is just the verb we use when we want to say the verb in the past tense. So called or went. Then finally, we have the past participle, which is the third verb column, which is verb in past tense that we want to use in different, not when we're saying the past simple, but when we're using, for example, the present perfect. Now, as you can see, we've got two verbs in our verb table. We have to call and to go. Now, to call is a regular verb. So the past simple and the past participle are both have the ed suffix. So it's called, called, whether you're talking in the past simple or past participle. Now, with the verb infinitive, the verb to go, this is an irregular verb. So here we have went for the past simple and been for the past participle. So the tricky thing for forming the present perfect is mainly irregular verbs. And I'm afraid the only way to get good at this is to just learn your irregular verbs. There's no trick, there's no formula. You've just got to memorize all the irregular verbs, unfortunately. But yes, let's move on. So here are some example sentences. So we have, I have been to Paris twice. She has lived here all her life. They have worked really hard this year. And oh no, he's forgotten his wallet. So the he's here, the he apostrophe s, is a contraction of he has. So for example, in sentence 2, you could say she's lived here all her life, and it would make the same. It would say the same thing. And as you guys know, in English, we love to use contractions. We like making our words shorter and easier to say because we're lazy. Welcome back to Over the Moon. They said better late than never, I suppose. I mean, I don't know if you were late or talking about me being late, but basically we've had some technical difficulties today. So thank you all very much for your patience in today's lesson getting started. Now, let's talk about the functions. So we have the form down, but let's have a think about why we use the present perfect. I often find this is the trickiest part of the present perfect. So can you guess these two functions? Oh, before we take a look at the functions, can you guess them? So Bagdala, I know you had some ideas earlier. So in the chat box window, what do you think are the two situations that we use the present perfect in? Why are we using the present perfect? Any answers? Hopefully you guys can still hear and see me. I can only apologize for my really terrible Wi-Fi today. But yeah, can anyone tell me any of the two functions before we take a look? Anyone? Ah, nice. Some answers are coming through. Good. So we have Foodie Yeah has a good answer. They've said continuous action. Very nice. Bagdalet says how many times we have done something or our experience, which is true. Like I have been to Paris twice, but it's not about how many times we've done something. It's usually about when the action occurred. Foodie thinks we also use it to say something that has just been done. And 123 says talking about something that has just happened. Good guesses, guys. Let's take a look. Okay. So we have function 1. Let me move myself out of the way. Here we go. So function 1. We use the present perfect to show finished past action. So similar to the past simple, but we'll go into the differences in a second. The exact time isn't mentioned because it is unknown or unimportant. So we use the present perfect to talk about finished singular past action, but we use it when we don't know when it happened. For example, I have been to Paris twice. That is 2 actions that have happened in the past. They're totally complete. But because I don't specify, I don't say when they happened, we could say I went to Paris. But if we want to emphasize the fact that there's not a specified time, we'd use the present perfect. Or, oh no, he's forgotten his wallet. For example, we don't know when he forgot his wallet. We just know that that happened in the past. So this is the difference between present perfect and past simple. The present perfect does not say when the action occurred, whereas the past simple does say when the action occurred. For example, if we look back at these example sentences, we could say, I went to Paris last summer. So that would be the past simple. Or, oh no, he forgot his wallet last week. So it wouldn't make, those sentences wouldn't make sense in the past simple without specifying the time that they happened. Okay? If you guys at any point have any questions, please let me know. Because I know that the present perfect can be a very tricky tense to understand in terms of function. I think the form is quite easy, but the function can be a little bit difficult to understand. But I'm going to move on. But yes, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. Okay, now let's take a look at some time markers. So you guys mentioned these words at the beginning of the lesson. So for the present perfect, no time marker is needed when we're using it in this way because we're not being specific about the time it happened. However, you can use certain emphasis words to give a clue to roughly the time that it happened. So, for example, you could use just, already, still, never, yet, and ever. Now, we use just to talk about things that have happened recently. The same with already. It's something that we've done before. We can use still to talk about things that I don't know why when you do still. I don't think that's correct actually. But we can use never to talk about things that we have not done. Yet is to talk about things that will be done. And ever is to talk about something happening at any point in time. And we usually use ever to ask questions. For example, have you ever been to France? So, here are some more example sentences. He has just been traveling. So that means that he's recently been traveling. She has never been to Italy. So something that has not happened at any point in time. I have already done that. That means that it's to emphasize that an action has happened before. Good. Ah, you are correct, Bagdala. That is, so example sentence number 1 is the present perfect continuous. Well done, because it's have been traveling. Very good. Excellent. And now, if you look at the past simple, we use specific time markers. For example, yesterday, last, or ago, like 5 minutes ago. So he went traveling yesterday. She didn't go to Italy last year. I did that an hour ago. Bubble Tea has asked, what is the difference between I have already done that and I already finished it? Good question, Bubble Tea. So those two sentences are in different tenses. I have already done that is in present perfect, and I already finished it is in past simple. The difference in meaning, they both mean that you've done something, but the difference in meaning would be maybe I have already done that implies that someone has asked you to do something and you're emphasizing the fact you've done it, whereas I already finished it, you're just making a claim about something you've done, I think. But they do roughly mean very similar stuff, very similar things. Okay, and also I think I have already done that kind of makes it seem as it gives the impression that you've just done something. It's more recent than I already finished it. Good. Okay, well done, guys. Good question, though. Okay, function number 2, and I think this is the slightly more difficult function, is we use the present perfect to show that should be an action, not a action. That's bad. To show an action that started in the past and continues to the present and may continue in the future. So I think it might have been, I think it was Foodie Yeah, who said the present perfect is about continuous action. So well done, Foodie Yeah, you are correct. It's also kind of like past action that has relevance and is connected to the present, or continues in the present, and there is evidence of this action in the present. An example I often use with my students is baking a cake. So if you said, I have baked a cake, usually that means that it happened recently and there's still evidence now of the fact you've baked a cake. Like the kitchen might be messy, or there's the cake that you've just made. So yeah. Another example could be, they have lived here for 10 years. Or I've been planning that, again, this is present perfect continuous. I've been planning the party for months. Okay, so next one. Time markers again. So some other words that we can use as time markers in function 2 of the present perfect is for and since. Now these words give extra information about the time in which the action occurred. We use for to indicate the duration of an action, and we use since to indicate the starting point of an action. For example, she has worked for the company for 6 months. They have been on holiday since last Tuesday. She has worked for the company for 6 months. They have been on holiday since last Tuesday. So, does anyone have any questions about the present perfect before we do a practice activity? any questions? Also, I hope that you guys can hear me and see me still. I think it's being quite slow. So I really apologize for the quality of today's lesson. I will look into it and improve the technical issues by next week, I promise. But I think let's try our best and keep going. And let's take a look at the practice activity. So I would like you guys, we'll do them one at a time. So no answering all 5 in one go. Let's do it one at a time. And what I want you to do is use the verbs in the brackets, which is in the infinitive. I want you to put this into the present perfect. So as you can see in the example, the infinitive verb was to run. So you change that to Brian, which is third person singular. Brian has ran a marathon. So yeah, Brian has ran a marathon. And now I would like you guys to do the rest for me. So number 1 is she blank across America. She blank across America. What do we think the answer is to this question? I don't know if you guys can still hear me. 1, 2, 3 says, is she still working? So I'm not sure. Okay, Bagdalet has answered, so I must still be working, if very slowly. So good, well done to Bagdalet. Well done to Amber. Any other guesses before I reveal the answer? All right, I'm gonna reveal it. So the first one is has driven. Well done to everyone, and well done to 1, 2, 3 as well. Good job, guys. So yeah, the first one is she has driven across America. Very good. Now actually bonus question. Also well done to Jay and also well done to Syra. Bonus question for each of these. She has driven across America. Is this function 1 or function 2? So is this talking about a complete past action, or is it talking about a past action that is continuing to the present? What do we think? So is it function 1 or function 2? Bonus points. What do we think? Also, let me know if this is working. Amber thinks it's function 1. Very good. Any other guesses? And Bagdalet says 1 as well. And both you guys are correct. Good job. It is complete past action. Well done. Yes, well done, Claire. Claire says function 1. Very good. Excellent, guys. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. My friends blank fishing before. My friends fishing before. So, what do we think? Is this, can you tell me what goes in this blank? My friends fishing before. Well done, Syra. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Any other guesses from anyone else? What goes in this blank? So Bagdalet, so Syra, Bagdalet, and Bubble Tea all say have gone. But you've got to remember it's the past participle of to go. So what is the... Oh. So what is the past participle of to go? I think 1, 2, 3 has got it. Well done, 1, 2, 3. The rest of you are very close. So it's have been. And I'm now going to double check that because I'm questioning myself. Oh, it is gone. What am I thinking of? Ah, I'm thinking of to be. I'm thinking of the verb to be. My apologies, guys. So this was incorrect, and you got it correct. My friends have gone. Well done, everyone. My bad. Very good. Okay, next one. Number 3. He blank from Europe to Asia. He blank from Europe to Asia. So what is the answer to number 3? He... Can you complete this gap? So as you can see, the verb in the brackets is to fly. Syra says it's not clear, teacher. Is that the answer or is it the video? Well done to Bagdalet. Very good. Any other guesses before I reveal the answer? Well done, Bubble Tea. Very good. Anyone else? All right, and well done to 1, 2, 3 and Amber. Very good, guys. So the answer is has flown. Excellent. So he has flown from Europe to Asia. So excellent. Well done, everyone. Now, I'm going to ask the bonus question again. Is this function 1 or is it function 2? He has flown from Europe to Asia. Is that a finished past action or is it past action that is ongoing? And any of you that are having any video problems, Bagdalet has just given very good advice, and it says that you should go to quality and then change to advanced. If you're having issues. Thank you, Bagdalet, for offering that advice. Very helpful. Amber says 1. Bagdalet also says function 1. And well done, guys. You are correct. Very good. So he has flown from Europe to Asia is a past action that is finished and completed. Very good. But we just don't know when. And that's why we're using the present perfect. Okay, number 4. I with the company, and then now a bonus one, I want you to add in a time word. Last month? Yes. So I with the company last month. Any guesses for blank 1 and blank 2? I with the company last month. Any guesses? Jay says have worked and since. Bagdalet says have worked and since. Very good. Any other guesses? All right, so let's take a look. Well done, guys. And well done to Amber, Bagdalet and Jay. I have worked with the company since last month. Now, is this function 1 or function 2? So well done to Bubble Tea. Very good. Have worked and since. Can anyone tell me, is this function 1 or function 2? And 123 says I've worked, which is very good. So if we wanted to make this a contraction, we would say I've rather than I have. Very good. And well done to Syra as well. But yes, so can anyone tell me which function is it? Is it function 1, finished past action, or function 2, continuous past action? Amber says function 2. Bagdlet thinks it's function 2. And yeah, well done, guys. Very good. So that is correct. I have worked with the company since last month. The action started in the past a month ago. It has been continuous and is also happening in the present. But the reason we use the past and the present perfect is because we want to emphasize when the action started. So very good. And we do that by using the time word since. So well done. All right, now let's take a look at question number 5. So they here 10 years. They here 10 years. Any guesses? So Bagdlet says they've lived here for 10 years and thinks it's function 2. Very good. Any other guesses? What do you think goes in these blanks? And also, well done, Bagdlet. You're doing so well today. Really excellent. You got everything right. Well done to 123 as well. They said they've been living here for 10 years. Well done, 123. You're doing so well as well. And Amber and Bubble Tea and Jay, all of you are doing excellently today. Really good job. They have lived here for 10 years. Well done. And well done to Claire as well, who says this is continuation. Yes, exactly. This is function 2. And it shows the action started in the past 10 years ago and is continuous and continues until now. Very good. Well done, everyone. Really excellent work today. And well done to Syra as well, who guessed it correctly. So let's take a look. So that is the end of today's live English class about the present perfect. Well done for everyone that participated and everyone that watched. You did really, really well today. So excellent job. And now it's time to find out the answer to our trivia question. So the question was, who was Prime Minister when Brexit took place? Now, does anyone know the answer? So who was Prime Minister of the United Kingdom when the Brexit vote happened in 2016? So 123 has guessed Boris Johnson, who is the current Prime Minister. Any other guesses? Bagdala has asked a really interesting question. He's asked, I noticed that you're referring to a single person as they. Is it grammatically correct? Now, actually, Bagdala, this is a really interesting question. So obviously, traditionally in grammar, well, actually, no, it is grammatically correct. But traditionally in grammar, you're going to refer to someone as he or she, depending on their gender. However, if you don't know someone's gender, the pronoun you use is they, even though they are a singular person, not a group. So, for example, when I'm reading out people's names in the chat window, I don't know anyone's gender identity. Some people have told me, but I usually don't know. So I always say they, as it's more polite to say they rather than assume someone's gender identity. Also, they is the pronoun often used by people who don't identify as male or female. I think these people define themselves sometimes, I think they say is non-binary, but not all non-binary people use they. Some non-binary people say he or she. But as a rule, I think it's just easier to call everyone they unless they have told me their gender pronouns, as that's more polite. So yeah, bit of a more complicated answer to that question than you were expecting, probably. But everyone pretty much has guessed that the answer to this question is Boris Johnson, and you guys are all wrong. It's David Cameron. So Boris Johnson is unfortunately the current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, but the Prime Minister when Brexit took place in 2016 was David Cameron, and he stepped down after the Brexit vote because he was in the Remain camp and he messed it up, basically. So yeah, that's why he stepped down. But yeah, and then Boris became our Prime Minister many years later. Boris only became Prime Minister this in 2019. So yeah, in December 2019, I remember because the vote happened whilst I was living in Vietnam and I had to figure out how to vote even though I was all the way in Vietnam. I had to do a postal vote. It was very tricky. But yes, so the answer was David Cameron. Okay, now I know that I'm keeping you all a little bit late due to the technical difficulties earlier, but hopefully you guys would still like to do a mini quiz. So today's mini quiz is all about guessing the British slang. So let's take a look. So number 1, if someone has done a cock up or has cocked something up, what does it mean? So I'll repeat that. If someone has done a cock up or cocked something up, what does it mean? Have they made a mistake, broken something, or forgotten something important? So have they made a mistake, broken something, or forgotten something important? Let me know what you guys think is the answer in the chat window. So do you think it's A, B, or C? Bagdad thinks it's B, broken something. Any other guesses? Also, Bagdalet says, thank you very much for the explanation. You're very welcome. 123 thinks it's A. Any other guesses before I reveal the answer? Bubble Tea thinks it's B as well, broken something. So I can tell you that the answer is, and Jay thinks it's C. I can tell you that the answer is actually A. So well done to 123. Very good guess. For example, you could say the government have really cocked up COVID, which means they've really made a mess, made loads of mistakes, done loads of things wrong in the COVID situation. Or you could say that David Cameron cocked up Brexit. So yeah, this is a phrase that I often use when talking about politics or the government, to be honest. But well done, everyone. Let's take a look at number 2. Okay, if someone is chuffed, how do they feel? Are they tired, happy, or proud? So if someone feels chuffed, how do they feel? Are they tired, happy, or proud? So Syra thinks that they feel proud. Any other guesses? Jay is not sure. Bagdala thinks they're tired. All right, any other guesses before I reveal the answer? 1, 2, 3, it says no clue. So at random, A. The answer is C. So well done to Syra. Very good. So the answer is, yes, C. I am really chuffed with my grade. Means I'm really happy with or really proud of my grade. So well done to Syra. All right. Final question in the mini quiz. If I'm starkers, what am I? If I'm starkers, what am I? Am I naked, shocked, or hungry? Any guesses? So, if I'm starkers, am I naked, shocked, or hungry? Bagdalet says they have no idea. Anyone else have any guesses? I can't believe you guys haven't heard these words before. That's good that you're learning new slang. I'm happy to introduce it to you. I'll bring some more slang next week. So Bagdalet is guessing shocked. Anyone else? Any other guesses? Naked, shocked, or hungry? Varsith says, oh, hello, Varsith, welcome. They say naked. Bubble Tea thinks it's hungry. Amber thinks it's hungry. Jay thinks it's naked. Well done to Varsith and Jay. The answer is naked. So if you're starkers, it means you got no clothes on. So a streaker ran onto the pitch, absolutely starkers. Bagdalet says, how come I've never heard of these slang words? I don't know, but I'm glad to introduce them to you. But yes, all right, well done, guys. That is everything for today's live English class. I just want to say thank you again for being so patient at the beginning and throughout with the delays and the kind of buffering that was going on with my Wi-Fi. I will do my best and improve that before the beginning of next lesson. But yeah, thank you guys for bearing with, and thank you so much for everyone who participated in the live stream, and I look forward to speaking with you all again next week. Just a reminder that there's going to be another poll tomorrow morning on our community channel, so please go there and vote for next week's what you want next week's topic to be. And yeah, I look forward to talking with you all again, and I hope you all have lovely weekends and lovely weeks and all of that stuff. Okay, take care everyone. Bye.